Okay, so now we're going to interview Axel, his first time on a new track, being a pilot. So let's go to Axel.
Oh hi, I'm Axel of Axe Racing. As Chris said, first time driving a new track. I've now done about 50 reps down Lake Placid, but that's the only place I've driven. So now we're in Park City, which as a brakeman was my favourite place to slide in the world. It's where I did my first ever run. Behind Dak of Team USA with as a pilot Bob. It's where I won my first ever medal as a brakeman, so I'm excited to drive it, but I have no idea what to expect, and that's kind of interesting. It feels like when I was at the start of Lake Placid, having never driven, we did a track walk, which is where you just kind of like walk the track and feel the corners, and the first time I ever did one in Lake Placid, I was listening to all of these things and didn't have a clue what any of it meant. And I'm getting a bit of that sense here doing my first, track walk. We're talking about steering on these corners and stuff. And realistically, until I do that first run, I'm not sure what any of that means. So, no, I'm excited to do it. It's supposed to be a much smoother, nicer track than Lake Placid. I can work on my feel as a driver rather than having to just kind of really steer a strict program. Exactly. I'm excited to see it, and hopefully it's much faster than Lake Placid in terms of top speed. So yeah, it's going to be a whole new set of challenges, but I feel like going into it should suit me more than Placid, certainly as a rookie driver. And Marcus on the camera, we're going to bang it off the top hopefully this time, because we didn't get a proper opportunity to push that much in Lake Placid. So hoping that even though we only have 10 runs total here, by the last one we'll be sending it. So I'll check back in after the race and let's go.
Catch up with them once I found them. I didn't know what time I get up here, depending on how long that was.
It's now after Park City. Pretty much it lived up to everything that I was expecting. It was much smoother. The track was way quicker and way more kind of fluid than Placid is. No real surprises really. So obviously going into it, I didn't really know what to expect from the track walk and everything, but pretty much once I got rolling down there, it all made sense. There's only one kind of trouble corner down there, and we ran into a spot bother on that first run, but just kind of knew what to do, and compared to rescuing a bad situation in Placid, it was nothing. So no problems there. What I was excited about was the fact that we basically ran it off from the first run. So even with Chris on the very first run, despite him trying to throw a quick one on Chris is on the camera, by the way, trying to throw a fast one and do my call on the start line, which here I'd have been pretty annoyed with because it would have thrown me off. On that track it was okay, but yeah, we managed to run it off from the first rep, and yeah, by the race, in fact by the second day, we were pushing pretty much at our limits and getting practice with pushing as a team, which was great. There was a couple of new experiences, like the top speed in Park City. You're fastest on the entire track by corner 6 out of can't even remember how many. Whereas compared to in Lake Placid, your top speed is corner 14 to 15, for example. So, we're whizzing by pretty early on, and so you hold that speed for the rest of the track. And actually, by the second to last corner, you can hear the wind rushing past your helmet, which is a pretty cool experience. Overall, Park City has really lived up to what I hoped Park City would be. It's great off the track, the weather's lovely, the views are spectacular, so loved Park City. But overall, feeling fairly accomplished with having conquered a new track and doing that whole learning a new track for the first time. And it's also given me an appreciation for why I started in Lake Placid, because going into Park City, having come from Lake Placid and learned in Lake Placid, I wasn't intimidated by it. Had I gone the other way round, I'd have been so terrified of starting in Lake Placid. So I'm glad that I've started at this really intimidating track, and now hopefully, maybe apart from Altenburg, any other track that we go to will be slightly easier to learn. Maybe, certainly technical and all of that, but in terms of the intimidation factor of going to a new track, shouldn't be there because we started at Lake Placid. So we're now going to return to Lake Placid after Christmas, but yeah, for right now, feeling good about it and pretty happy with learning a new track.